Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Astra, the daily current affairs. Today it is Sunday. Date is 26th of November. This is Constitutional Day, by the way. I wish everyone a very happy Constitution Day. So, as per the preamble, 26th November 1949, on that day, we have adapted, enacted, and given ourselves this Constitution. However, if you look at the so-called Part 22 of the Indian Constitution, it speaks about commencement date of this Constitution. The commencement date of the Constitution was on 26th January 1950. Hence, 26th January 1950 is celebrated as the so-called Republic Day, whereas 26th November 1949 is 26th November is celebrated as Constitution Day. This is something about the relevance of this day, November 26th, 2023, the Constitution Day. Now, going into today's news. Yesterday, Rajasthan has went to polling and almost 71% or 72% of voting was seen in this desert state. And you have seen a peaceful polling thanks to the so-called measures that was taken by the Election Commission of India. So 70% or 72% of the people has turned out to this election campaign. So something which is good for the state or which is good for the country altogether. Rescue dangers may take a long time. Dangerous. So this is speaking about the Silk Yara tunnel excavation, where there are nearly 41 migrant workers who are trapped in this tunnel. So we thought that these people are going to see the day yesterday itself, but what it happened because of the so-called blocks that has been created while drilling this tunnel, it is going to take long time, says NDMA. So just have a look at what is NDMA and how NDMA functions. This is given in Lakshmikant chapter. Have a look at it. That is more than enough. That is for disaster management. So this is what I said. We are celebrating the Constitution Day on 26th November. So this is being celebrated by LIC, the Life Insurance Corporation, India. So the rest of the things you can use in ethics. Search at ex-IAS officer's house for stash of cash. So there was some allegations against this IAS officer, ex-IAS officer, Mr. A.K. Goyal, saying that the BRS has kept some money with him during the elections. So they have searched it. The Election Commission of India has searched it. So this is the thing that you have. So Telangana is going for high-level polls on 30th November. So everything is here. But the thing that we have to worry is this person's child labor is also involved in this to do this type of things. Next. Intellectuals and students back Sirisha of Barrelakka fame. So this is something which is happening here in the state of Telangana. A woman named as Sirisha, she is famously known as Barrelakka. Now what she did, she is contesting the elections and she is contesting as an independent candidate. So she was very upset with the ruling of the Telangana government, which has not announced employment opportunities or not announced any jobs for the youth. As a result, she had taken some buffaloes and she used to look after them. Having got frustrated with the administrative system or the political system that she has seen, she has contested these elections. So she is contesting from the Nagar Kurnool district, Kolhapur Assembly. So we have to wait and watch. Everyone is waiting and watching and wishing. By the way, the young generation is wishing for her success. So if it becomes success, definitely this is going to be a game change in the politics of especially the two Telugu states. So this you can use in how youth were away from politics and how a young girl somewhere around 25 or 22 years has 25 years has participated in the elections. This is something we have to wait and watch. The results are going to come on that day. So many people are suggesting or supporting her. So this can be used in ethics days. Next one. So in the Vande Bharat trains, they are going to make it to have flight experience. What do you mean by it? They are going to provide some extra amenities inside the train so that you will get that feel that you are traveling in the flights. So this was the thing. So passengers on board will have greater choices in selecting the food and beverages. Additional value added services to passengers are also being supplied here. So in this context, this was given. Very sad news coming from Cochin University of Science and Technology, where almost 50 students were injured and 4 students were killed in a stampede during the so-called university fest. Because of the sudden rain, majority of the students have rushed into the auditorium. As a result, there was stampede, and due to this, 4 students were killed and 50 were injured. Something which is very unfortunate incident during this cultural fest at the university. Disbursement of Raitu Bandhu from November 27th, says Harish Rao. Now this is speaking about the so-called Telangana is going for elections on November 30th. Now Raitu Bandhu is one scheme just like the so-called PM Kisan of the central government. Telangana government is giving somewhere around 13,000 rupees per acre for all the farmers in the country, irrespective of the acres of the land that you are holding. For every acre they are giving 13,000 rupees. In this context, Congress has alleged that giving this type of dolouts during the times of elections is something against the model code of conduct. So they approached the Election Commission of India saying that it should not be allowed during the times of elections, but Election Commission of India has given a clean chit and asked the government to go ahead with it. So it is going to begin on November 27th, and definitely it is going to have a huge impact or some political mileage for the ruling party as far as this is considered. We are really shocked why Election Commission of India has permitted this scheme to go ahead. So a coastal flavor, Kambala makes splash in Bengaluru. So Kambala has come back to Bengaluru. So this is the festival. What is Kambala? It is just like the cox fight, you find it in Andhra Pradesh. This is the fight of the so-called bulls, a bulls festival. Government invites civil society leaders from Leh and Kargil for dialogue. This is extremely important because in GS paper 2 there is one topic known as role of civil society in democratic institutions. So one thing that civil societies play a very crucial role is they act as the eyes and ears of the common people. Now whenever government wants to bridge this gap between the government as well as the public, they use this pressure group organizations or civil society organizations. So recently there has been huge demand in the Leh saying that the government of India has to announce the so-called announce the Leh as a part of Schedule 6 of Indian Constitution. Government of India initiated the civil society dialogue. So civil societies play a very crucial role in this way. You can write this as an example for that syllabus. That is one thing that we have to add. So one extremely important thing, you remember the heading, you can use it. Rejections by governor does not mean death of a bill, because the bill can be reconsidered by the legislatures and then it can be sent back. So this is what Supreme Court means to say. Army finalizes ammunition requirement for 10 years, bans on indigenous manufacturing. So this is something which can be used in internal security for the next 10 years. What are the requirements of the army that has been prepared and it was given to the Ministry of Defense. We have to wait and watch how budget is going to be allocated for it. Obviously, it is going to be allocated to ensure that we are military prepared. So in this context, they have given this. So have a look at it. You can use it in GS paper 2, GS paper 3. With the turmeric board said to be reality, no yellow twist this time. Now, recently Prime Minister Modi in his Telangana speech, election speech, has said that they are going to form turmeric board in order to ensure that the farmers who are producing this turmeric are going to realize dynamic prices. So in this context, this was the demand of many farmers in the state, asking that we should have a separate board for turmeric, and this was accepted by Prime Minister. We have to wait and watch how it is going to be. In this context, turmeric board is important for, just remember, this is a statutory board. If it is created, these type of things can be asked in prelims. Next one. So BJP seeks action against Gandhis, that is that is against Rahul Gandhi as well as Priyanka Gandhi for defying model code of conduct. Now, what is MCC? The moment Election Commission of India announces elections model code of conduct, places some restrictions upon the leaders not to deviate from the standard set of principles that has to be followed during the time of elections. This is called MCC. Now, according to MCC, before going to the elections, from the day of elections, on the day of elections, 48 hours before that day, all the parties in the state has to maintain no silence day or no campaign day. So if it is on 30th, you have elections at 6 o'clock. From 29th and 28th morning itself, there should be silence zone. This is called silence zone. So this is as per MCC. No one should give any campaigning on this. And the political party should refrain from attracting the voters with their so-called tweets and anything. But what BJP said this, both Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi has tweeted in order to attract the polls. As a result, they have violated this free and fair election doctrine. As a result, they have violated 48-hour silent zone. Hence, action has to be taken them under Representations of People's Act. This is what BJP has sought with the Election Commission of India. In the science, something again, a very important thing coming for environment. Antarctica's ozone hole expands mid-spring since 2001. So it has to be understood that the Montreal Protocol, which was established in the year 1985 and which came into effect from 1987, had taken external action against the so-called release of some gases which are very, very harmful for the ozone. So it has kept restrictions on the use of some gases which cause depletion to the ozone, and it was said that from 2001 or from 1987 until 2001 or post 2001, there has been recovery in the so-called ozone recovery was observed. But recently, what it happened is in the past 3 years, 2020 to 22, they have witnessed re-emergence of long ozone holes over Antarctica in mid-spring, that is somewhere around October, because spring in the southern hemisphere is different from spring in the northern hemisphere. Today we are enjoying spring here. So in the mid-spring, today we are in the winter. By the way, because we are in the northern hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere there will be summer. So in the mid-spring, Antarctica is seeing something called ozone holes. This is extremely to be noted. The core of the Antarctica's ozone in mid-spring, I said this is October in southern hemisphere, had experienced a 26% reduction since 2004, contrary to the previous reportedly recovery. So rather than recovery, it is seeing something called reduction of ozone layer. So this is extremely important to note how ozone gets depleted. Next, after this, so they can ask this question in both prelims as well as mains. Is India's lagging in measles vaccine? So they have given what is measles. Measles is a contagious disease caused by the virus which spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. Measles start with cough, runny nose, red eyes, and fever. According to WHO, measles vaccination has prevented 56 million deaths between 2000 and 2001. So this is what measles. So if they ask some questions, you have to be ready. This is the one. Where does India stand on Israel-Hamas war? The solution is only one thing that India has been saying. Both the countries should call for the peace, and both countries should initiate dialogue for two-state solution. That is what we have been campaigning in this West Asia ever since Israel and Palestine are at war. Argentina's president of chaos. So there was a recently elected president known as Javier Milei. What this fellow did, he has assumed himself to be the president during the worst crisis of Argentina, that is economic crisis. Now, without following the democratic norms, this person has taken this presidentship. So, on one side, economy is going to get destroyed. On the other side, this fellow's coming to power is something which is through non-democratic means. So, politically, also Argentina is now in turmoil. So, there is chaos in the so-called Argentina region. Of the wilderness, this is because from the so-called similar type of incident. This is from Dutch Denmark, where anti-Islam, anti-immigrant party of freedom has emerged in the Dutch. As a result, this is going to get something called some changes in the political sphere again. So Netherlands, have a look at where this Netherlands or Dutch is present. You will have something in map pointing. Outspoken parliamentarian. This is about the so-called Mahua Maitra, who has defied and who has been unapologetic to the so-called ethics committee, since this ethics committee with 6-4 judgment has passed saying that this woman has conducted the breach of parliamentary privileges. So in that case, already we have discussed enough on ethics committee, so you have to watch it. SEBI approves the rules for index providers, so extremely important guys for prelims as well as for mains. Please have a look at it. I am going to make a separate video on this. India announces phased introduction of biogas blending. This is also extremely important for for your prelims as well as for mains. So India announced biogas introduction. The mandatory phased out introduction will start at 1% in the year 2025. By 2028, it reaches to 5%. Similarly, in the aeroplanes, sustainable aviation fuel 1% in aircraft turbine fuel. By 2027, they wanted to bring it. So have a look at this. That is going to be more important. So from Australia, agricultural imports have been tripled to the India. So these are the things that we have in current affairs today, and this is about the so-called Chhath festival that is being celebrated in the states of Bihar, and the immigrants of the Bihar or migrants of the Bihar are celebrating it across the country. So this is the thing that you have in today's current affairs. So this is for the Sunday and the Constitution Day. Thanks for joining. Have a great day, guys.